Welcome back, welcome back, JDC family. My name's Jay. This is my Diecast Creations channel, and I figured I'd pop on here real quick. It's kind of late. It's after midnight on Wednesday evening, so Thursday morning, if you will. I don't know if anybody's gonna even be on, but I got a couple things to touch on, to update on the channel and stuff, and I figured instead of Eddie's in the house, Dane's in the house. What's up, guys? I got a couple of little updates on the channel and stuff, so I figured I'd jump on here and kick it with you guys for a minute. I don't have my computer set up. I'm still kind of struggling for space here, but we're getting organized. I got a lamp. I got a lamp. I got my little work area. I'm still getting this situated. And then the big update. The big update is we upgraded. We upgraded, baby. 2 3D printers are in the house. I've had them for a couple days now, and they have not stopped. Anytime that Amanda's not working in here, these things have been running. So big things are coming, guys. Big things are coming. Johnny's in the house. What's up, brother? At work. I'm at work. So what up? What's going on? Yeah, man. So I got these printers. I caught a sweet deal. I've been looking at 3D printing for years now. And I've always been kind of intimidated to jump in, you know, like you don't know where to start. It's a foreign space, right? And finally, a couple weeks back, I messaged Jim Silva and was like, "Yo, man, what do you got going on over there?" You know, and he was like, "This is what I have going on. If I was you, I'd start here with the A1 Mini. It's a Bamboo Labs printer. I don't know nothing about nothing before a few weeks ago, right? And now I know a whole lot about nothing." Right? So it's pretty much, it's way easier than I thought it was gonna be. I got into these printers. I brought them home last Saturday. Last Saturday, I got these printers home, and I didn't have a chance to touch them or anything until Sunday. And I was printing by Sunday evening. Like literally, I printed a few of these here. This is one that I have for a friend. But Amanda needed a trigger lock for her Dyson vacuum, right? So I asked her, I was like, "What do you need?" You know, I bought it to print little stuff for the Gaslands and stuff like that, right? And for the diecast, but I'm like, "What do you need?" You know? So she starts looking around on the app that comes with it. And that's the cool thing about these printers, guys. I haven't even hooked up my computer yet. Like I don't have the Bamboo Labs Maker World program downloaded. I just made an account and I downloaded the app on my phone. Everybody else has done the work for me already, you know? Like there's so many files out there that are just free. You could grab them and press print and it goes to the machine, right? You got to maintain your machine, make sure it's all oiled up and cleaned, all the rails are clean and everything, right? And make sure that the filament is on there. But besides that, you press go and the thing starts going. As Jim Silva called it, a toaster, right? You put your bread in there, you hit the button, and it toasts your bread. It just works, right? I don't want to learn how to fix the machines and, you know, upgrade the machines with different things and all that. I don't need all that, right? I need something that works. Eventually, do I get into like 3D rendering and making my own stuff, and you know, does it evolve into something else? Maybe, possibly. I mean, I've already been talking about buying a bigger printer, like these are the A1 minis. So you're kind of stuck in a 7 by 7 box, right? So what is it? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 2 3 4 5 6 7. So this is your grid, right? 7 by 7, and you really can't go. I mean, you can go all the way to the edge, but you're gonna risk a failure because the plate isn't as hot out there, right? So everything has to be stuck to the plate, and I'm learning a lot, man. The first layer is the most important, right? If that one doesn't stick, then you might as well press stop because your whole thing is gonna get messed up, and you could end up messing up your machine too if it spaghettis up into the nozzle. You could end up with a blob, they call it, right? So really cool stuff, man. This thing's gonna make some noise here in a minute. I seen something that I know Derek would like, so I'm gonna send it off. It's a 2D print, but it's actually 3D because the GT3 RS sits on the floor, and then yeah, see, it just finished up. So you guys are actually gonna see it finish up here, and you can't touch the plate until it's fully cooled, especially with the thin prints like this. There you go, just sung its song. Right? So there's a GT3 RS, and it gets better than this, right? Right now I'm using a point 0.4 nozzle, and if you put a point 0.2 nozzle in it, which I have one, there'll be less layer lines and stuff and less stringing, and but how cool is that, man? How cool is that? I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I printed over the last couple days. Like I said, I've only had this thing a week and a half. A week and a half now. Sorry to jump you around. Levi says I'm subscribed. Well, welcome to the JDC family, Levi. I hope you stick around. I'm not as active as I used to be, but I'm still gonna be doing some stuff. I got back into it. I have a workstation now. Subi's in the house. What's up, brother? What is up, brother? Subi's in the house. I got a workstation now. I'm slowly, progressively getting back into the hobby. So, I'm glad that the JDC family's still around, man. You guys told me take as much time as you need. We'll be here when you get back, and you weren't lying. You were not lying. People are here, man, and that's cool. So let me get back into this though. So Subi just showed up. I'm pretty sure you might have just seen the 3D printer running. It just finished up its last little bit. I don't like to run both of them while I'm sitting in here because as much as they say PLA is safe to work around, it's only been around for so long, right? So I'm pretty sure when you're melting plastic, it's not exactly the safest thing to be breathing in. Like you can smell it, right? And microplastics and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure is a thing to be concerned about in the long run. And it's kind of like smoking cigarettes, right? One cigarette is not going to kill you, but when you smoke them every day, they will, it'll hurt you, bad, right? So if I sat in here and I ran these printers for one day, I'm sure I'd be fine. But I plan on sitting in here and doing my hobby at night. So I don't want to be running these things while I'm sitting in here tinkering around, right? Um, but they're really cool, and as long as you babysit it for the first couple layers, you can let that thing run for the most part, and it'll be good. So anyway, I printed up this cable tie thing, right? Cable tie for my phone charger. Boom. I got a 6-foot cable. My Amanda always gets at me, why do you like all these long cables? Why do you gotta have such a long cable? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I might need some space, might need to stretch it across the room or something, right? So I got a cable tie. Those are really cool because they're cheap and they print fast. So I found these files, and this one got messed up. This is what I was talking about with the spaghetti thing, right? Yeah, this one actually it actually saved itself because I wasn't watching it, and it went another way, and it came back. Like this wasn't not attached to the plate, and then it started to build itself up. I got lucky though, because if you don't catch this and stop it, you could really damage the machine. But anyway, I found this little file, and it's a little toy. It's a little toy hauler, and it comes with an egg. Like you close the egg, and it's these cars and the toy hauler in there, right? But when I seen this, I was like, oh man, these are the perfect size to be. There's a thing in Gaslands called RC car bombs, right? So it's the perfect size. It's a car bomb, right? It's a RC car, right? Boom. So now I rig up my Gaslands car and I put a rack or, hang it off the back or something. And you dress this thing up a little bit. You put a little antenna sticking off the back because it's an RC car, right? Strap a couple bomb things on it, paint it up real nice, clean it up, and you got RC car bombs. These things cost me like a cent, like literally a penny to print this, you know? That's the cool thing about the filament printing, man. It's not resin printing where you got to have like gloves and a mask and respirator and all that, right? So you just throw the filament on the roll. I mean, on the machine, you load it and you hit go, right? The filament runs anywhere from like $8 a roll to like 30 something dollars a roll, depending on what you want. Right now, I'm only messing with PLA, which is like the bottom tier of plastic. And I did get some PET G, they call it PETG. And that's like supposed to be stronger. It's got more flex in it. So if you drop it, it doesn't break, but it's a little more temperamental when you're printing, right? So I'll show you guys some of the stuff I printed though. Let me stop getting off topic. I am a little tired. Liliana, my one of my girls, broke her tooth on Christmas Eve. She fell and had a toy in her hand and it cracked her tooth. And since then, we had went to the dentist and they put a crown on her tooth, but it's just like it's a little press on that they glue on, right? It's nothing crazy. Well, we were outside yesterday, and I don't know if she fell or put a rock in her mouth or something, and she broke it, right? So this morning, Amanda called the dentist, and they were like, "Yeah, get her in here. We got a spot at 11 o'clock." So she ends up taking off of work. She told her boss, "Listen, I gotta go." We drive to the dentist office. We get there. They're like, "Yeah, it's broken, but there's nothing we could do about it here because we don't do that here." And I'm like, "Come on, man." They don't even have the supplies to fix it, right? So then they're like, "You got to go to Greensboro." And she's like, "I took off of work already. So, can I go now? Can we go now? Like, can you call there and see if they'll take us?" Turns out they did. They took us. We go all the way up there. She's like, "I've never seen this happen before. I put hundreds of these things on, and if she broke it already, I don't want to put another one on. The only other option is to put a juvie crown or something like that." And that's upsetting because they got to put her under, like they got to give her anesthesia and stuff, man. And I'm not so sure about that. They're almost 3 years old now, but anesthesia is risky in adults. So I'm like, I'm not sure. Does the risk outweigh the reward, right? um she does have a little spot on the inside of the tooth, and the dentist isn't even sure if it's an opening or not. So it's something that me and Amanda got to talk about and make a decision on. I feel horrible. I feel horrible for her. It's kids being kids, right? It's gonna happen. NASCAR guys in the house. What's up, brother? How about the Clash? Oh my goodness, man! I haven't watched a full race in so long. I sat down and watched the Clash, and I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed. I was impressed. I come from Riverhead Raceway. It's a bull ring. There's great racing there. I've always said that Bowman Gray does not have good racing. It is just a wreck fest. It is bumper cars. It is who's got the bigger bumper, who's got the bigger balls, right? Um, the Cup guys went out there and put on a show. They were riding. There was passing going on. There was passing on the outside. You don't pass on the outside of Bowman Gray. I was excited. I think that they need a permanent spot on the map. I think they need a permanent spot on the map. Let's go. Bring it to Winston-Salem. It's 30 minutes from my house. I can get there. Oh man. So anyway, NASCAR guys in the house. What's up, brother? Better than I thought. Me too, man. So yeah, so I'll get back into this 3D printer. Got the 3D printer. We're in there, right? I printed up this thing. Boom. Rack for the paints. Rack for the Citadel paints, right? This thing will probably cost you what, 10, 15 bucks in a store? Cost me like a dollar 20, I think. I did the math, right? Boom. We're in there. Got a couple of these. These are personal pots. So when you pop here, I'll just pull one out. You put the Citadel paint in there, and then you pop the top on it, and you turn it. Boom. It keeps the top open, right? It keeps the top open because they always want to fall shut, and then you can't spill this either, right? It's basically unspillable. So I printed two of them in case I'm working with two Citadel paints at a time. I don't always use the Citadel paints. I'm more on the apple barrel stuff, but the washes and the technical paints come out, and it gets a little messy sometimes, right? So those are good to have. Looking for a file to organize the apple barrel paints too, and the only thing I could find is for the A1, the full size printer. So I don't know, man. I didn't go out and splurge on these printers. I don't want nobody to think I mean, whatever. I don't really care what people think, but I don't got a lot of money. But I let some things go on Facebook Marketplace, and I try to do that. Like if we sell something on Marketplace that I didn't, really pay for, or we didn't need it anymore or whatever, I'll take that money and go buy something that we do need, right? Or want. So that's where this comes from. Family first, the house comes first and all that. But it's good to have a hobby. So here we are. I think NASCAR Tyrannos is in the house. I think NASCAR would benefit from doing the Clash at a different small town track each year. Yeah, yep. A nod to the smaller track and the grassroots racing that built NASCAR. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It would also upgrade a whole bunch of short tracks every time they go there, right? Because you got to put in safer barrier. You got to make sure the facility's up to date, blah, 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 blah. And NASCAR would be the ones dumping some of that money in. So that would be cool. I heard somebody say that they thought that the short track should be the all-star race, right? So it's later in the year, and has some significance, I guess, in the season. I don't know, but and that the race in the beginning of the year should be something like Brazil or whatever they're trying to do, right? Like the experimental race should be the Clash, and the All-Star race should be the short track, which I kind of agree with. Go get the finicky gimmick out of the way, and then let's get down to business. These guys don't want to go traveling across the world in the middle of their season. Bring them back to their roots. Let them bump some fenders, baby. Let's go. So anyway, back to it, right? The one big thing I can't pull out, it's in the refrigerator. I printed Amanda what they call a Gridfinity set. So it's a grid, right? It's a grid, and these things fit into it. So yeah, this one's full and this one's full too. But you can see the bottom of this is recessed, right? It fits into the grid, and then you can fit all the stuff, right? And they make different inserts and stuff. So I found her insert for her insulin vials, right? I printed her the Gridfinity grid. I found her the insert for the insulin vials. I printed 2 of those up. So now she can keep 30 vials of insulin in the fridge organized, because previously it's just been her boxes, and it takes up a whole shelf, a whole drawer basically in the fridge. So now we compacted it down into this grid, and it's got the vials, and then it's got a spot in the back for her insulin pens and stuff, the emergency pens, right? So these 3D printers, man, they're coming in handy already. and I love it. I love the fact that I can hit. I need something. I can find it, and I can hit print. I can hit print and have it within a few hours at most. Right. Most of this stuff takes about an hour or two to print. Some of it's a little bit longer. Some of them are like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. Some of them go like 15, 16, 18 hours. And then you can go into like some crazy stuff and be printing for like 3, 4 days at a time. But I'm not trying to do that right now. That's not why I got this thing. This thing's pretty cool. And then I realized afterwards I'm not going to use it. Probably I might bring it down to the shop and put it on a bag of Speedy Dry for when NASCAR guys out. Peace out, brother. I appreciate you stopping by, man. I might put this on a bag of Speedy Dry because it's not spinning. It's spinning on itself. Basically, it's like a chip clip, but it's got the thing there. So you cut the bag and then you put this thing over it, right? Come on, baby, you can do it. You put this clamp over it, and now it's got a hole that you can pour your stuff through, right? So you don't have to take the clip off and fumble with the bag and all that. You just unscrew it. Well, one of the things that I learned afterwards is that filament 3D printing is not really supposed to be food grade safe because it's layers, like it's printed in layers, right? So you can see the layer lines, and you can't fully clean it. So if the food gets in there, it'll get stuck in there, and then bacteria and things will grow. So now next time, over time or whatever, you'd be pouring your food through this thing, and then the bacteria is growing in there. So now you're getting bacteria in your food, and so I was like, oh, I'm not going to use this, right? But then I was like, oh, I could probably cut a bag of Speedy Dry or cat litter or something for when I spill something in the shop. And I don't have to open it. Just take the cap off, boom, and pour the stuff out. So that's probably what I'll use this for. Gary's Diecast Collections in the house. What's up, Gary? Welcome back, man. Welcome back. I'm not gonna be on here all night. I'm just excited. I got these 3D printers a week and a half ago or so, and I've been printing everything I love. Everything I love. These are texture rollers for making terrain, right? Like when you get the foam board, and when I'm making little dioramas and stuff. This is like a brick texture, so you roll it out on it, and it's simple as that. It makes a brick texture. This is like a rough texture for like a desert ground, right? The desert ground. I printed all these. I don't know if you can see the grid back there. Yeah, you can see it in the camera. There's a grid back there. That's called a multi-board system, and I printed 2 of them out. I don't know that I'm going to stay with it. I was thinking about putting them on the wall, but I think I'm just going to build some shelves for the wall and be done with that. But I printed out these pans. They go into the multi-board. I might make some of these multi-board things for the shop in the different material, because PLA, they say, will melt at a certain boiling point. So if it does get really hot in the shop sometimes, because there's not air conditioning in the big room, and this stuff, they say it'll melt. I don't want these things falling down and hitting my camper or whatever. I don't want my tools falling on the floor. So I'll probably print that. If I'm gonna use it out there, I'll print it in the different material so that it does not fail, right? I printed out some toys for the kids. I make sure I wash these things when I get them off the machine too, right? Because they get little filament strings and stuff, and I don't know what kind of plastic dust is on there, right? Like, you're melting plastic and it's reshaping it. But this is pretty cool. It's called an infinity cube. Man, I was playing with this thing myself for a while. Right? And it's just an infinity cube. You can keep spinning it. It's a fidget toy, right? So boom, I printed 2 of those for the girls. And then last night I fired these things up. These are fidget spinners, right? Boom, fidget spinner, baby. You know, they cost me like 20 cents, 20, 30 cents or whatever. I'm telling you, these printers are life changing. I love them. So we might get into something bigger here down the road, but for now, the two minis are getting at it. They are getting at it. I might have to get an AMS. There's a thing called an AMS where you can get multicolors into the print, and then you can start printing like some really cool stuff. For now, if I need to paint something, I'll paint it. But the more I'm seeing, the more I'm like, okay, I see why people would use multiple different rolls of colors and filaments in one print and have the machine do it for you, because it comes out so clean. Like you want to print, say for example, you're a Marvel fan and you want to print all the Avengers, right? You can literally get the colors of the Avengers, find the files, and print the Avengers in color, like, and have them on your desk. There's a lot of Avengers, but you know what I'm saying. You can have, man. All right, I printed this thing. Right? The Winged Warrior. It's not the greatest quality. It's not the greatest quality. It's got a whole bunch of layer lines, but this is with the 0.4 nozzle. I did not change to a 0.2 nozzle yet because I need to hook the computer up and change the settings in there, and I can't do that through the app. So, I just wanted to see what would happen if I printed this thing, man. And man, look at this thing. Look at the Winged Warrior, dude. I love it. I love this hobby. This is a whole nother hobby, basically, you know. And there's ways to fix the filament lines and stuff, if you really want to get into it. But with the 0.2 nozzle and changing your settings, it takes longer, So a print like this, I think this print was 3 hours, 3.5 or 4 hours. So with the 0.2 nozzle, and you slow it down a little bit, it might take 7 or 8 hours to print this thing, but it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out awesome. Like most of these lines that you see here are gonna be gone because it takes its time, and it just gets it. It's better, right? It's just better. So there's that. The Winged Warrior. I printed some of these things, cable ties, right? And these things are cool. Oh, so the same thing with this and this fidget spinner. They're print in place, they call it, right? So like, I hit print and it comes out like that, right? It comes out like that. I don't have to glue nothing to snap nothing together, nothing, right? You get it off the plate, and you have to, you just snap it basically, and it loosens up the joint. The fidget spinner, same thing, man. I just started doing this, and it was like crack, 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 good to go. It was a little stiff in the beginning, but these things are the same thing. Like it comes out like this, and then you just boom, and this joint is free to go now. So you can just, you need to tie up a cable or something. I printed two latches for my shed out there. The door was like falling off and the latch was bad. So, it's not a permanent fix, but the latches that I printed are pretty awesome. It's the lever one, it's like the lever drops down and shifts over and then locks in. I printed 2 of those to make sure that the door doesn't open. Those are out there right now, and PLA is only good for a certain temperature. They say not to leave it out in the sun, but I wanted to make sure the door didn't open, so I just put them on there, and I'll slap some paint on them, and they should last longer. That'll protect the plastic from the paint from the sun a little bit, right? Bada bing, bada boom. There's always a workaround for something. So I'm trying to justify the cost of the printers, right? So brand new, you can buy this printer for $200. Brand new, the A1 Mini is $200. It might have just went up with the whole tariff on China thing. I'm not sure. I haven't looked, but $200 you can get it brand new, right? The filament's like $8 a roll. The nozzles are like $12 each. Everything's pretty cheap. You know, it doesn't take a lot to do this once you actually have the unit. So I found a guy in Greensboro. Actually, he was selling two of them. He was selling two of them, and we worked the deal. Um, I got both of these units for basically the price of what I would have paid on a new one. I paid $280 for these two. It came with 3 rolls of filament and 2 extra nozzles. Um, and yeah, 3 rolls of filament right there is 816. Oh, these are hatchbox. They were $24 a roll. So two of them were basically half gone. The other one was about 3/4. So, it was worth it for me because I could turn around and sell one of them if I need to for at least $100, probably more, and go get the bigger one if I want to do that. So, but it's justifying what I'm trying to say is I'm justifying the cost of the machines by printing practical things instead of just toys, right? I want to print everything that we need in this house that I don't have to go to the store and buy. You know what I'm saying? Like the vent cover for the pipe. I removed the sink out of the back of the house, like a little slop sink, and I cut the pipe. So, instead of driving across town to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, you just measure it, get the diameter, go on the thing, find it, and print it. And what, 20 cents? I got the cap that I need, right? And it's just a vent. It doesn't need to be heat safe or anything like that. So yeah, man, really cool deal. Really cool deal. I printed a couple other things. This is called a benchy. This is supposed to be the first thing you print, and I did. And without the guns on it. This is the guns are separate, but the guns were an add-on that I printed separate. But the benchy, right? Gary's out. Later, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope all's well in the new year, man. And I'll see you soon. This is the benchy, right? The benchy is like the first thing you print to it's like a benchmark, right? You should be able to print this and then compare it to like other people's benchies and other printers and stuff, pieces broke off of it, but that's what happens when the kids are playing with them. But yeah, I printed out the gun set for it, makes it a battleship benchy. And then I found a trailer thing, right? So I printed the trailer too, man. Boom. We're in there. I think there's a faction in Gaslands, I'm pretty sure that runs trailers. I think they're Rusty's Bootleggers or something like that. So you can run a trailer. So maybe I'll make this benchy into my Gaslands deal, right? It's got guns on it already. I don't know, man. I was just doing stuff, This was one of the first things I printed, so and then I tried to print a machine gun, and it snapped off when I was taking it off because it comes with tree supports, they call them. So like there's supports that come up around it to make sure that the thing stands up when it's printing. And when I was taking the tree supports off, it broke. But I mean, for a machine gun, it's not bad. It's not bad for 3 cents or whatever, right? 2 cents. So that was one fail. And then this little guy, because I think I've mentioned before, I'm a nerd when it comes to like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. I've always wanted to play, but I've never really played. So I went on there and found the little figure guy. This is a rat guy, I think, or something like that. And I printed him out, man. Look at this, though. Look at the details. You see a little swirl mark on the top of the head. But I mean, and I haven't even really cleaned them up yet. But so the arm failed. There was an arm failure, and it ended up on the bed of the bed plate or whatever. But I still tried to, and then I snapped the other arm trying to take it off, trying to take the tree supports off, you know. But man, what world are we living in, man? Where I could just make these things out of nowhere in my house. And look at the, I mean, this is with the point 0.4 nozzle. So you see the layer lines, but when you go to the point 0.2 nozzle, those lines are going to be almost invisible, you know? I'm telling you, man, big things are coming. Good things are coming. I might have to change up a little bit of what I'm doing on the channel, I guess, but you know, we're here, baby. We are here. Um I think, oh, I printed out some wheels. Yeah, I printed out some wheels. I caught a thief in the process. I caught a thief in the process, baby. Organized my stuff a little bit. I found out be fun to print and paint so much stuff. Yeah, well, that's called the pile of shame, Eddie. That's what they call the pile of shame. And apparently, every Dungeons and Dragons and 40K Warhammer people, they all got a pile of shame. They went and bought it all and didn't have the time to paint it, right? So that's basically where I'm gonna be too. I don't have a lot of time, so I printed out a whole bunch of these wheels, right? Off-road wheels for the Gasland stuff. Boom! I'm excited about it, man. I'm talking. So and I gotta give Ben from Benjamin from BP Custom Creations, man. He's been helpful in this whole process too because he knows a lot about 3D printing. And I was asking him, like, you know, what do you think about this, that, and the other thing? And he's been in my ear, giving me all the right answers, right? So I printed out these wheels, and then I was like, "Yo, man, you have some models out there. Where are they?" Right? So he gives me the website. I go click on it, and I'm looking around in there, and what do I see? I see this. I see this, and that's how I knew it was his because of the point in the middle, right? So I start looking a little closer, and then I see the other ones. I see this design, and then I see the other design, and I'm like, these M and F's, man. Somebody stole his files and printed and posted them up on Maker World as their own. Now, at first, I was like, man, that's messed up. That's messed up. So I messaged Ben and I was like, yo, man, somebody stole your stuff. Go over there and do what you got to do. But first, I'm gonna print a couple more. I'm gonna print a couple more because my computer's not hooked up, and I need to have a little bit of stock before, you know. And at first he was like, ah, man, it's not a big deal. Like, it's free, you know. They're free anyway, right? Um, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of a big deal because they're getting paid off of it. So that's the other thing with the what you call it, with the Maker World. If you go on there and you make stuff and you post it up there, and then people start downloading it and printing it and like boosting it and all that kind of stuff, you get credits towards Bamboo Labs. So now you can go on their store and order filament or order nozzles or whatever, man. You can order stuff. You can order printers if you get that much money from your files. So like I was like, man, it is kind of a big deal, you know. Somebody's profiting off your work right now. So you know, I didn't even get that far with him, but he went on there and he messaged me and he's like, yeah, I had a copyright struck, but I had printed out a few more files. He don't care. It was free, and it still is free, but you got to go to his thing over there and get it, right? Naruto in the house. What's up, dude? I haven't seen that name in a while. Didn't you have a baby? You and your girl were pregnant. I think when I was getting off of is that I got the right? I'm pretty sure I got the right name there, if I remember right. When I was getting out of New York. I'm pretty sure when I was shutting the channel down for a minute there, I remember. I thought I remembered you saying that. If so, I hope all is well, man. I hope all is well. And welcome back, baby. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back, brother. Um, so yeah, I've been printing and printing and printing, and I can't stop printing, man. I keep finding cool stuff. You guys are gonna see it firsthand. Oh, I got another one. I got another one. Hold up. I just printed this a little while ago for the girls. Uh, 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 uh. Look at that. Look at that. You ask what that is? It's a horse. It's a horse, right? But it's for the wall. Like, you could either frame it or you could just put it up on the wall somehow. And I haven't really figured out how to mount this because it's kind of fragile and brittle, and I'll probably end up breaking it if I try to mount it somehow. But Dane, good night, Jay, and everyone got to hit the hay. Looking forward to seeing all the amazing stuff you're going to make. Yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks, man. I'm gonna be doing everything that I can. I got about 4 rolls of that filament, so I could print a whole lot of this small stuff with that. um, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I appreciate you stopping by, Dane, for sure, man. Not doing so well, bro, but it's all good because part of being an adult. Yeah, I hate to hear that. But we all do have ups and downs, right? And the downs are what make you stronger, man. Sometimes you got to pull it together and bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Bounce back, brother, for sure. So yeah, I did print this for the girls. They picked it out actually. I was going through my phone, looking at little things. Amanda was blown away by the fact that we could print something for the house, like on a wall. You know what I mean? She's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a little 2D picture or whatever." So I had already pulled up and saved a bunch of stuff. So she saw that. I was like, "Yeah, that's really cool." And then I showed it to the girls, and they picked that one out of all the animals. I had a bunch of animals saved. So Derek's sleeping right now. He's gonna be upset that he didn't see this, but I'm gonna show it on here anyway. And you guys can see exactly what happens. So this is the build plate, right? This is a metal plate. It's a textured build plate. Um, and they sell different ones. They sell smooth plates. They sell there's another one. I forget what it's called, but it's like a really grippy plate. Like you can print stuff at lower temperatures and it'll stick to it. I forget what they call it though. Um, Facts, bro. I say is all along as I'm happy. I'm happy. Right on, man. Right on, brother. That's what's important, man. Got to do it. You got to do it. So yeah, I just printed this out for he don't know it, but it's gonna be for Derek and on his diecast because he's the Porsche. He's the Porsche guy, right? So I'm gonna take it off the plate. This is what you do. You bend the plate, right? Boom. You hear that? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Pop. Pop. Now you gotta be fragile. You gotta be careful with the thin stuff because it's fragile, right? And it's still stuck. You really don't want to touch the plate because when you get the oil on it, then the next print won't want to stick. So you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go because I just touched the middle of the plate. I'm gonna have to go and wash this with dish soap and water, right? And then I printed this too. See, it just keeps going, guys. I've been printing and printing and printing, printing and printing. I printed these. I printed 2 of these, but they don't really fit, so I'm probably not gonna put them on. But these are supposed to clip onto the edge of the plate here, so when you need to take it off, you just pull it and boom, it comes off and you don't have to touch the corner of the plate at all. But they don't really fit, so it's probably just a bad file. But I printed out. At first I printed out the bamboo scrapers, and they're really just like one and done disposables. But this thing, right, is pretty cool, man. It's you can print out replaceable razor blades for it, right? And they're plastic razor blades for the build plate. So really cool. So I got a tub of them here, and it's cheap. It's cheap, bro. Like and you just scrape it off. Boom. See, easy as one and done. Bada bing, bada boom, and it's static cling. But that's what you do, and then when you need to, you go and wash the plate. Wash the plate and make sure it's dry when you put it back on the machine. Obviously, the other thing I printed was these baskets that go on the side of the machine. They're called poop catches. They catch the poop because every time you print something, the machine has to purge filament, and it makes it's got to go through its thing, right? So it purges filament and then it kicks it out the side. And if you don't have something over there to catch it, it ends up on your floor. So here's the cool thing, right? So you look at this side and you see all the some stringiness here. So they say to take a torch take a lighter to it, and it'll just burn up these little strings. If you can see them, see the strings, right? So you see the filament lines, but because I'm using a textured plate, right? You flip it over. The first layer on the machine is going to be a textured texture, right? Which is pretty cool. So now you don't have to worry about the layer lines because it took the plate texture, right? And then I'm not going to do it right now. So this is the GT3 RS. Boom, boom, boom. And then this thing should lock right in like that. And I'm not going to do it because I'm going to have to package this up and send it to Arizona. But Derek don't know that's coming. I'm sure if he watches this, he will. And that's fine too. This took 45 minutes to print, and it used 12 grams of filament. There is a kilogram of filament in a roll, which is 1,000 grams of filament. So there you go. $8 for the roll. Now this is cheap filament. This is the cheapest stuff I could find, right? A lot of people say don't use the cheap stuff because there's additives and stuff like that in it. I did some research. A lot of people are using the cheap Amazon stuff, so I got some. Doesn't mean that I can't get some good stuff too, but I got the cheap stuff so I could burn it up while I'm learning. Okay. This stuff here is what the guy gave me when I bought the machines, right? You can kind of see the difference. This is matte Hatchbox, matte PLA. It's just I think it's a better quality. And then this stuff here is also Hatchbox. This is a metallic. It says black. It looks gray to me. It's a metallic black, they call it. But whatever. And then this is the cheap stuff, right? Honestly, if you don't know, you don't know. And I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing, man. I'm just I'm over here learning. So really cool little hobby to get into without having to spend a whole lot of money. And it's simple, man. I was so intimidated by 3D printing, I didn't know where to start. Bamboo Labs has created this whole ecosystem and made it so easy to get into that I can't not do it, There's been a lot of talk in the world, but there's been a lot of talk in the world about what's going to happen coming up because Bamboo Labs has announced that there's going to be firmware and stuff that they're doing where like basically you got to go through them to get your print. Like you got to it's got to go through a third app for security purposes or whatever. I'm not concerned with that. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not making anything that, shouldn't be made, right? This is the toaster. If I'm going to do something where I don't want, you know, somebody to be seeing what I'm doing, I'll go buy something else, right? I'm not doing any of that. So I don't have to worry about it. But there is concern in the 3D printing world about that because and I get why. I get why. It shouldn't really be, but they have 3D printing down to a science, and it's simple and it's easy, and I'm printing stuff and I have no experience whatsoever. So it's worth the money for me up front, and I'm sure these things will pay for themselves and down the road. I'd say it's a learning curve, but who cares about reviews? Yeah, right on, man. So yeah, what are we? 50 minutes in. I guess I'll get to this other thing. I let me clear this up. I got how many people are here? 7 people are still here. You guys want to see some cars? If you want to see some cars, raise your hand. If you want to see some cars, raise your hand. I found a place. So I go down to Mooresville, and there's a place in Mooresville that I've wanted to stop at called Crazy Cool Collectibles. It's right there on Main Street. And I went in there. I go down there all the time to go to my bank and stuff, and I always see this place, and I never stop because we're always on our way to Costco or doing something and need to go somewhere else, right? Um, and finally, I was like, you know what? I need to go in this place. And Amanda's like, yeah, 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 go. The girls are sleeping in the back seat, so I went in there, and the guy was really cool, and he ended up having a couple cars. He's not really a it's not really a car place, but he had a lady come in and was like, will you give me $10 for this bag of cars? And he's like, yeah. So he put them in a bin for two for a buck, and I ended up buying 20 of them, right? So if you're into crazy collectibles and stuff, this guy down there in Crazy Cool Collectibles in Mooresville, North Carolina. If you're in the area, go down there. He's gonna have a there you go, Sunday, March 3rd, in-store sales, entire parking lot filled. There's gonna be like an event with a whole bunch of vendors and stuff like that. He told me to come set up a table for free, but I'm not really selling anything. I mean, I guess I could go there and show some of my work, but I'm just gonna go down there and see what's up, But I do got a bag. I got a bag, and let me move this. I feel like I'm gonna break this Porsche thing here before I even do anything with it. Let me get it out of there. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. What do we got? What do we got? Man, I really got to get my computer hooked up because reaching around this phone to read the chat is not the greatest thing. Also, I'd say if you would choose to make a profit from selling printed stuff, you'd get your money back. Yeah, I've thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. I did think about it, and I know that there's some stuff out there that's like um public domain or whatever, where nobody's gonna copyright nothing. I don't really want to be stealing people's files, so I'd have to make my own stuff for the most part, I would think, or be using free, free of copyright files. And I'm just not there yet, right? But yeah, definitely, I've definitely thought about it. And who knows, man? Maybe this turns into a business down the road. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta really see which way this goes. But for right now, I'm enjoying it, man. I'm having fun. This is a good gig, and I'm pretty sure once I get that .2 nozzle in there, that's gonna really open up some stuff for the details, for the little stuff. So yeah, I got about 20 cars here. I'll show them. I'll show them all. Right. I'll start off with the banger. This is the Volkswagen Baja Bug. Baja Bug for 50 cents. Boy's got real riders on it. Yep, it's the Hoonigan Bug. So that's the Baja, you know. Real riders on that bad boy. She rolls good. Woo, woo. Right. I'm a kid again, guys. I'm a kid again. Ferrari. This is the tuned Ferrari. I have one of these. It's the 360 Modelo. Right? 360 Modelo. And Amanda don't even know I got Ferraris, so I'm gonna have to hide them. Nah, she's gonna end up with them. They'll go in a collection. I am working on putting up benches. Benches, shelving. You know, I'm gonna put up some shelving and get all my stuff up on the walls as far as customs and stuff like that. And that's when I'm gonna focus on getting all of your customs up on the walls, the Ferraris and the double trouble stuff and all the stuff that people sent me over the years. It's all going on display in here, and it's gonna be cool. I'm thinking I'm building some shelves. I'm gonna build some shelves and make them into terrain. So the shelves are actually gonna be a display in themselves, and then I'll put all my Gasland stuff on those, and then all the other stuff is gonna go in the display cases, and I'll build some more shelves if I need to, you know, to fit the rest of it, right? So let me see let me see. Is there a trend here? Yeah, this is the race bait 308, maybe, I think. Or is it not? This is 1986. This might be a Testarossa, actually. I think that's the Testarossa. Right? It's the color changer. You guys remember that? Pretty sure it's a color changer, right? Unless that's kid paint, but I'm pretty sure that's a color changer. Goes from yellow to red, maybe yellow to orange. I could be wrong. It could be painted. Here we go. This is a Datsun 280Z. I had a 1983 Datsun 280ZX, and I kick myself to this day for getting rid of that car, man. One of the funnest cars I've ever driven. Oh, it's missing the bumper. One of the funnest cars I've ever driven right here. The ZX. It wasn't turbo. It was naturally aspirated, straight 6-cylinder, independent rear suspension with a short shift automatic transmission. Like, that car, man, you get on it and the thing would just squat and launch. Like, for a 6-cylinder, I was impressed. I was impressed. I think I have one of those castings. I'm not sure which one. The Ferrari, probably. Man, I had the car wash for those back in the day. The White Shark too. Yeah. The car wash for the color changes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So I saw this. It's a Yat Ming. This is a Yat Ming too, actually. Yat Ming, and I think this is a Mustang, obviously. Stallion, they called it. They didn't want to get copyright strike. This is the fastback, right? Fastback Mustang. I'm not a big Ford guy, but you know, I saw it and I was like, oh man, I gotta have it. Yat Ming, it's got the suspension in there. Boom, boom, boom. Love when they did that. Here we go. The Baja Breaker. 50 cent Baja Breaker. Can't pass it up. Still got the hood on it, right? Still got the hood. I don't want to break it. My luck, I will, right? I'm gonna leave it shut for now. Baja Breaker in green, favorite color. The wheels are still on it. It almost rolls. This one's jammed up. Both fronts are jammed up, but Man, for being this old, this thing's all here. It's got all the pieces to it. It'd be a shame for me to cut it up. I got so many things I can cut up, and I have one of these that's in bad shape. That's actually I think it's in there. I got one that's in somewhere. Um, I got one that's missing the wheels and it's all banged up. So I'll probably use that one for a Gaslands build, but this is cool, man. This is cool. I've kind of shifted my, I don't know if I shifted or just, you know, being away for so long, it makes me like the older stuff better, more, if that makes sense, because that's what I grew up with. These are the cars that I grew up playing with. Um, I've always kind of liked finding these in the antique malls and stuff more than going to Walmart and finding you know, right, a peg car. So I got excited, man, when the guy was like, "Yeah, you're gonna want to see." When I was telling him about my channel and stuff, he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna want to see what's over there." And he was right. I went over there and I found all this stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, yep, you're right, you're right." So this is a Toyota '82 Supra. Got a Toyota '82 Supra in the house. I don't think I ever had this car. Um, but it's a staple, right? These things were all over the place back in the day. What happened was you became a parent. It calms the chaos. Yeah, dude, there ain't nothing calm in this house. There is chaos everywhere. With two of them, two tornadoes, nonstop from sunrise to sundown, and then till bedtime. But you're right though. To being a parent does change you, for sure, for sure. For the better. It changes you for the better, and all the struggles are gonna be worth it, man. They're all gonna be worth it when you look back and you realize what you've done. We created two people, and I wish I could slow time down, man. It's going so fast. It really is going so fast. They're gonna be three. They're gonna be three here in just a couple months, couple days, if you will. Um, I had these cars when I was a kid. I remember I had a purple one. The purple one was one of my favorite cars, actually. And to this day, I still don't think that the front wheel ever rolled right. Just scraped along, but man, my throat is dry. I don't know what's going on with that. But, XT3, I think it says on there. Is that what it is? XT3. Um, just cool, man. I saw it. I was like, oh, I gotta have it. I gotta have it because I don't have any, and I did have one when I was a kid, and I remember it. So, man, I need some more water. I'm gonna burn through these cars here. Let me get a cough drop. Burn through these cars here, and then I'm gonna split. Because it's probably getting late. I still got to do the dishes. So, another semi truck. I seen this. It's a Yat Ming. Seen this. I've yet to build a war rig. I have a couple semi trucks that I picked up on my last little haul, and I still wasn't sure which one I'm gonna use. So I seen it. I was like, oh, I gotta get that. Gotta have it, right? 50 cents. Already almost 3. Yeah. Yesterday was telling everybody about you going to be a parent. Yeah, man. That was 4 years ago, because right, almost 4 years ago, because it takes 8-9 months to grow kids, right? So right, right. Yeah. Here's that race bait 308. I knew I had one in there. It's actually got the tampos. The tampos are in pretty good shape. Obviously it's not in great shape. It's scraped up and stuff, but it's there, right? We got it. I have a few of those actually, but what else we got in here? Another semi truck. Boom. Let's go. This one's got the push bar on the front. I think this one's gonna be a front runner for the war rig. It's gonna be one of the front runners. It's got those off-road wheels on there. I'll probably end up putting different wheels on it and jacking it up. But yeah, man. Boom. Another big rig. Wow. I'm spacing right now. Older cars are great finds, good memories from childhood. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I love finding older cars. Found a bone shaker, right? Got to grab them when you find them. Never have enough of these for customs. So I got that. Yeah, this one. Got the Matchbox Racing Porsche 935. Racing Porsche 935. I've had a few of these when I was a kid. Yep. And Amanda, it wasn't this one, but a 935. I customized one and sent it to Andrew. And then Amanda customized one and sent it to Andrew. And I think it was a 935, the Hot Wheels one, the newer one. But this is the old one. This is the this is the Matchbox, right? And the tampos are in decent shape here. This ain't bad. Yeah, every scratch, mark, and chip tells a story. That's for sure. This one might actually. So Andrew Maple Leaf Customs is 5-year anniversary right now, and he's got to build off March 15th. I think is the date. He's supposed to build something and give it away. I have yet to start something. I really would like to get in on it this year. So this one might actually end up on the table here shortly. That would be cool. I did build some cars, and dude, Wastelands Raceway is running a season. He's over there in the UK. I built a team, and I've yet to be able to get to the post office. So I'm probably just gonna tell him to just do what he's got to do, and I'm not gonna run it because I'm so busy, man. Like I can't, every time I turn around, it's something else. Lily broke a tooth again, so it's like, I was sick for a week last week, and anyway, that's life, right? I'll show you guys those customs before I get off. This is a GTO 64 GTO. I believe this might be a color changer too. I think it was in a color change pack because I looked at it on the shelf a while back. I'll dump it in some water and see what happens. This one's cool. This is the riveted. Yep, riveted. This is a Gaslander. This is a Gaslander all day. Yep. Get rid of that chrome, paint it black. Get some details in there. Get rid of the Superman and the blue and all that. Yeah. It was a Gaslander. I got one or two other ones of this. So, get that on there. This is another Gaslander. This is the Jaded. Jaded is a good one. This looks like, what is that? Scorpion? Scorpion? That ain't from Mortal Kombat. Who's Scorpion? Was there a villain in Batman or something that I'm missing? I don't remember a Scorpion besides Mortal Kombat, but that ain't him. You guys school me in the chat if anybody knows. Where does Scorpion come from? Because that's not clicking right now. Yeah. I don't know either, Eddie. And I'm pretty good with my comics and stuff. That says Marvel. It says Marvel right there. Boom. Scorpion. That's a different one. I'm going to have to look that up. I must have missed a comic or something. Spider-Man. Johnny. Okay. Yeah, could be. I wasn't really a big Spider-Man guy, so I might have missed out on some of the villains there. I mean, I watched Spider-Man and all that, but I wasn't. That wasn't my joint. You know. Here we go. What's this one? This is a super fast. Yep, Matchbox super fast number 64 Fire Chief. And I seen it. I was like, I've never had that car, and I don't have that car, so now I do for 50 cents. Fire Chief. It's a little banged up, but it's in decent shape. It didn't get run over by a car. you know, it's cool. It's not really anything to go crazy about, but it rolls. There you go. Fire Chief in the house. This is another cool one. This is a Matchbox Roll-O-Matics number 20 Police Patrol. A police patrol. Huh. This has got to be kid painted or something. Roll-O-Matics did something, didn't it? Like, isn't it? Oh, that thing's supposed to spin around, I think. I think the siren, maybe? Supposed to spin around? I don't know. Say we're old without saying we're old. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, man. I clicked over the what do they say? Over the hill? The big 4-0. Yep, that happened. What are you going to do? I will say this. For being 40 years old, I'm proud of where I'm at. You know, I couldn't have said when I was a kid, or like, when they say, what do you want to do when you get older or whatever, right? Or where do you see yourself in 20 years? I definitely would not have said, a parent of two kids, a homeowner, and having all the things that I've ever wanted in life. With a loving wife and all that, right? I never would have thought that I'd have all this, and I'm grateful for it, man. I'm happy with where I'm at in life right now. So, yeah. 40. I don't feel like I'm old. I know I'm not as young as I used to be, but I can still get it done. Still get it done, right? I got a Matchbox Fiero, Pontiac Fiero, copyright 1985. Um, I have a few of these, and I have this paint job as well. But I seen it, I was like, oh man, I gotta have it. Gotta have it. You know, that's the thing. These things, they're not making anymore, right? There's only so many of them out there. So some of them, some cars, there's more than others, and you'll come across them all the time. But stuff like this here, man, you're not gonna find them, but every so often. So if you really want it, you better buy it because you're not gonna see it again, right? With that being said, I found another Matchbox Mustang. I found one last week, or last run at the Diecast store. You guys saw it. It was in really bad shape, paint wise. This one is not. It's actually in really good shape, paint wise. But I love this casting, man. What's the copyright on here? 1983. Yeah. So I probably had these as a kid, because they would have been on the pegs when I was a kid. But maybe not, man. They might have been out of production by the time I was peg hunting with my dad and stuff every weekend, every other weekend when he would bring us there. We probably had some of these. This is a really cool car, though, man. It's got that rake, the bigger tires in the rear, So they've been doing that for a long time. I think they need to kind of get away from it, but this car, they did it. They did it right. They did it right. So I now have two of these. Oh yeah, it's got the suspension on there too. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, side pipes, side mic, blower coming out the hood, supercharged. Looks like, yeah, man. I had a black one as a kid. Right on, man. I don't think I had these. You know who knows? My brother, my younger brother would know. He knows all the cars. He knew all the cars. My memory's a little shot. Too many concussions and extracurriculars in my younger days, but um, my brother would know exactly how many of what color and all that that we had, right? Um, but yeah, all right, cool. So I did build the team, and this will be it before I get off. I'll show you guys these two cars that I built for the Wastelands Raceway, and I'd like to get to the post office to send these things out, man. I did show them before, but I finished them up. This is the Mustang, right? It's all rusted, and it's not really rusted. It's just dusted. The theme was just more of a Rutherford, they call it. It's the military guys, right? So my deal was that there's no factions in his season. It's just run and gun basically. So if I had to come up with a story, these guys um, are in the military, but these are their personal cars, right? They're not all rusty. They're kind of kept up, and they slapped some guns on there and armor, and they went to run the season, right? And then this is an RX-7 with some rockets on it. So this other one here has got a Gatling gun, machine gun. This one has some rockets on it, right? Armored up the windows. These were quick builds. I would like to get them out to the UK, but I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get. I can't prioritize it. Like we already got plans tomorrow. After I gotta go get my taxes and stuff done, and it's just one thing after another, man. Um, so I don't know that I'll get it to him in time, but and I feel bad because I did tell him that I was sending the cars. So I did email him the other day to find out what the deadline is and all that good stuff. If I can get there by the weekend, these are gone. These will be going to the UK for that season, and that'll be that. So I think I'm gonna wrap it here, guys. I gotta go do the dishes and finish up cleaning the house and stuff before I go to sleep. And I don't even know what time it is. I've been on here for an hour and 17 minutes, almost 2 o'clock probably. So that's gonna be it for tonight. I appreciate everybody that stopped by, and I hope you guys had a good time. I'm gonna be 3D printing some stuff from here on out. So yeah, things are changing a little bit, but for the better. And that's gonna be it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.